History News Daily is your go-to podcast for a daily dose of history. Each episode dives into significant events, births, and deaths that occurred on this day in history. From pivotal moments in world history to intriguing anecdotes about famous figures, we bring the past to life in an engaging and informative format. I'm Chris Bernard. Stay informed and entertained with new episodes released every day, keeping you connected to history regularly.
Here are some of the historical events for May 20th. In 1498, Vasco da Gama reaches India. Portuguese explorer Vasco da Gama landed at Calicut, now Kozhikode, on the Malabar Coast of India, becoming the first European to reach India by sea. This historic voyage opened up the sea route for trade between Europe and Asia, significantly impacting global commerce. In 1609, Shakespeare's Sonnets published. William Shakespeare's collection of 154 sonnets was published in London by Thomas Thorpe. These poems explored themes of love, beauty, politics, and mortality, and have since become some of the most famous and studied works in English literature. 1802, Napoleon Bonaparte reestablishes French nobility. After the French Revolution had abolished the aristocracy, Napoleon Bonaparte reinstated the French nobility, creating a new class of nobles known as the nobility of the empire. This move was part of his broader efforts to consolidate power and stabilize his regime. 1813, Battle of Bautzen. During the Napoleonic Wars, the French army under Napoleon defeated the Prussian-Russian forces at the Battle of Bautzen in Saxony. The battle was part of the War of the Sixth Coalition and demonstrated Napoleon's tactical brilliance, though the victory was not decisive enough to end the coalition against him. 1862, U.S. Homestead Act signed into law. President Abraham Lincoln signed the Homestead Act, which provided 160 acres of public land to settlers for a small fee, provided they improved the land by building a dwelling and cultivating crops. This act significantly promoted westward expansion and development in the United States. 1873, Levi Strauss and Jacob Davis received patent for blue jeans. Levi Strauss and Taylor Jacob Davis were granted a patent for the process of reinforcing pants with metal rivets at stress points. This innovation led to the creation of blue jeans, which became a durable and popular garment, especially among workers. 1882, Triple Alliance formed. Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy signed the Triple Alliance, a defensive military alliance. This pact was meant to counterbalance the growing influence of France and Russia in Europe and played a significant role in the diplomatic landscape leading up to World War I. 1902, Cuba gains independence from the United States. After 4 years of American military administration following the Spanish-American War, Cuba became an independent republic on May 20, 1902. Tomás Estrada Palma became the first president of Cuba. 1927, Charles Lindbergh begins first solo non-stop transatlantic flight. Aviator Charles Lindbergh departed from Roosevelt Field in New York in the spirit of St. Louis, aiming to fly non-stop to Paris. He successfully completed the flight in 33.5 hours, landing at Le Bourget Field near Paris and becoming an international hero. 1932, Amelia Earhart completes solo transatlantic flight. Aviator Amelia Earhart took off from Newfoundland, Canada, and landed in Ireland, becoming the first woman to fly solo non-stop across the Atlantic Ocean. This achievement solidified her status as a pioneering figure in aviation. 1940, Auschwitz concentration camp established. Nazi Germany began the construction of the Auschwitz concentration camp in occupied Poland. Initially intended to hold political prisoners, it later became a major site of the Holocaust, where over 1 million people, mostly Jews, were murdered. 1948, Chiang Kai-shek elected President of China. Chiang Kai-shek was elected as the first president of the Republic of China. Following the Chinese Civil War, he and his government retreated to Taiwan, where he continued to lead the Republic of China in exile. 1964, first quasar identified. Astronomer Martin Schmidt identified the first quasar, 3C273. Revealing it as a highly luminous and distant object powered by a supermassive black hole. This discovery significantly advanced the understanding of the universe and the nature of quasars. 1983, discovery of HIV. The virus responsible for AIDS was identified by a team of French scientists led by Luc Montagnier at the Pasteur Institute in Paris. This breakthrough was crucial for understanding and combating the AIDS epidemic. 1990 Hubble Space Telescope sends first photographs. The Hubble Space Telescope, launched into orbit by NASA in April 1990, sent back its first photographs. These images provided unprecedented clarity and detail of distant galaxies, nebulae, and other astronomical phenomena, revolutionizing the field of astronomy. Sources: History.com, Britannica.com, NASA.gov, thesmithsonian.edu.
Uncover lesser-known facts and intriguing anecdotes about historical events and figures that may surprise and inspire you. By engaging with history on a daily basis, you'll develop a stronger connection to the world and its rich tapestry of events and personalities. You can find Hist in News daily on popular podcast platforms like Apple, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. Subscribe today to start your journey through history, one day at a time. I'm Chris Bernard. Thank you for listening to our Daily Today in History podcast. Remember to subscribe to our podcast and follow us on YouTube for updates, behind-the-scenes content, and discussions about history's impact on our world today. Be sure to tune in tomorrow and find out more today in history.